landed in my inbox. My first instinct was I thought there'd been a mistake.
Oh, yeah. Why is that?
It's sardines. I mean, come on. When I think superfood, my mind goes to, you know, AK berries from the Amazon
Mm,
or some mushroom tea that cost a fortune.
not the smelly fish your grandpa used to eat.
Exactly. It just
They-
feels so utilitarian.
Well, utilitarian is a nice way of putting it. Most people think of it as like emergency rations or a pizza topping you use to mess with your friends. But that reputation is exactly why we're doing this.
Because we're missing the point.
We're missing arguably the most efficient nutritional package on the entire planet. I've gone through the research, and scientifically, the sardine isn't just a fish. The literature actually classifies it as a nutritional paradigm.
A nutritional paradigm.
Mhm.
Wow. That is a serious rebrand for a $2 can of fish.
It is. But to get why, we have to start with this one concept that just kept popping up in all the papers, the functional food matrix.
Okay, let's unpack that, because usually when we talk nutrition, we talk in parts.
Mhm.
You know, take vitamin C for this, eat protein for that.
Right, we treat food like it's a supplement case. We're always looking for that one silver bullet. But a matrix implies structure, synergy. The sardine isn't just a sack of nutrients. It's a whole system where the fats, the proteins, the minerals, they all work together.
So the whole is way, way bigger than the sum of its parts.
Exactly. And that sets up the mission for this deep dive. We have to look at this little fish through two completely different lenses to really get it.
And those are.
First, we're putting on the lab coats. We're taking the nutritional scientist's view, looking at the sardine as this powerhouse for neuroprotection and heart health. We need to get why this matrix works so well for us.
Okay. And the second lens.
That's the marine ecologist's view. And this is where the story gets really complicated. We have to talk about something called the forage fish crisis. Because it turns out that the very same things that make sardines a miracle food for us make them non-negotiable for the ocean's top predators.
I think I see where this is going. It's a conflict. The perfect food for humans might be the one thing holding the entire ocean food web together.
That's the tension. We're looking for the patterns here, how our health and the ocean's health are completely tangled up in this one tiny species.
All right, let's start with the human side then. The macronutrient architecture, as the papers put it. I was really blown away by the protein numbers.
It's incredibly dense. For a standard 100-gram serving, you're looking at about 24.62 grams of protein.
Give me some context for that. How does that compare?
Well, by weight, that's way more than you'd get from broccoli or legumes. But it's not just the amount, it's the quality. The data showed a protein quality score of 100%.
And what does that even mean? Is that like an A+ for protein?
You could say that, yeah. It means it has all 9 essential amino acids in the perfect proportions your body needs. It's just really efficient, especially leucine and valine.
Those are the branched chain amino acids, right? The stuff people buy in those huge tubs at supplement shops.
The very same. Except here, they're not synthetic. They're naturally part of the matrix, all bound up with healthy fats that help your body actually use them.
But this is where the data got really wild for me. The vitamin B12. A single serving has 8.9 micrograms.
Which sounds like a tiny number on its own.
It does, until you see the percentage. It's 373% of your daily value.
It's a staggering amount. And B12 isn't just about energy like a cup of coffee. It's fundamental to how your cells, power themselves.
And the research mentioned cognitive decline.
Yes. As we get older, our ability to absorb B12 goes down. And if you're on a plant-heavy diet, you're almost certainly not getting enough. A deficiency isn't just feeling tired. It can actually mimic symptoms of dementia, brain fog, memory loss.
So one can of sardines is like a safety net?
A massive one. But if we're talking about deficiencies, the real headliner here has to be the sunshine vitamin.
Vitamin D. This was the biggest shock for me. I always thought, you get it from the sun. I had no idea you could eat it in these amounts.
Oh. That's because you usually can't. It's so rare in our food supply. Most foods have basically zero vitamin D naturally.
But sardines are an exception.
A huge exception. They are just swimming in vitamin D3, which is the form our bodies can actually use. And there was this little detail in the research about when they're caught that was fascinating.
I saw that. The seasonal thing.
Exactly. This is the matrix at work again. Sardines eat plankton. So if they're caught in summer, when the plankton is full of vitamin D from the sun, the fish themselves become supercharged. up to 48% of your daily value.
And if they're dried, it goes up even more.
It skyrockets. But here's the kicker. Vitamin D is fat soluble. You can pop a vitamin D pill, but if you don't take it with fat, you won't absorb much of it.
You need something to carry it into your system.
And the sardine provides the nutrient and the delivery vehicle.
Yeah.
All in one. It's a perfect system.
Speaking of that delivery vehicle, let's talk about the fats, the omega-3s. I think we've all been trained to see canned tuna as the go-to health food.
Yeah, the bodybuilder's lunch.
But when you put the omega-3 numbers side by side, it's not even a fair fight.
It's honestly kind of embarrassing for the tuna. A serving of sardines has, between 1,600 and 1,800 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA, canned tuna. It's like 45 to 440.
That's a massive difference.
It is, and we need to zero in on the DHA part of that, because the research pointed to a specific mechanism here. It's all about something called the MFSD2A transporter.
MSD2A. Sounds like a character from a sci-fi movie.
It kind of acts like one. Think of it as the VIP bouncer for your brain.
The bouncer.
For your brain, yeah. The blood-brain barrier is like a really exclusive club. It doesn't let just anything in. But DHA, that specific fat in sardines, it has an all-access pass. This MFSD2A protein literally grabs it and pulls it across the barrier.
So why does the brain want it so badly?
It keeps your brain cell walls flexible, which helps signals travel faster. But it gets even cooler. Once DHA is inside, your brain turns it into something called neuroprotectin D1, NPC1.
Okay, that sounds like a shield generator.
And it basically functions like one. The research shows it actually reduces the production of those amyloid beta peptides.
And those are the plaques we hear about with Alzheimer's, right?
Exactly. The junk that gums up the works. So this isn't just brain food in some vague sense. We're talking about providing the raw materials for your brain's own active self-protection system.
That's incredible. It's not just fuel, it's the repair crew.
That's a perfect way to put it. Active maintenance.
Okay, so let's move from the brain down to the heart health matrix. We know omega-3s are good for the heart, but the sources mention taurine and arginine.
Yeah, two amino acids that don't get nearly enough attention. Arginine is the precursor to nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide. That opens up your blood vessels, right? A vasodilator.
Yep. It tells the muscles in your blood vessels to relax, which lowers blood pressure, better flow.
And taurine. I only ever see that on the side of an energy drink can.
Which is funny because in your heart, it's a stabilizer. It helps regulate how calcium and sodium move in and out of the cells, which is crucial for preventing irregular heartbeats.
The text even said it's used for heart failure patients.
It is. Supplementation has been shown to help, and sardines are a great natural source. Plus, you get coenzyme Q10.
CoQ10, I see that on all the expensive vitamin bottles.
It's vital for your mitochondria, the power plants in your cells. But here's the really relevant part for a lot of listeners. Many people are on statins for cholesterol.
Right.
Well, statins are amazing, but they can deplete your body's CoQ10, which can cause that muscle pain people sometimes get.
So eating sardines could actually help with the side effects.
It's possible, yeah. It's a natural way to replenish it. See, it's the matrix again. It all works together.
Okay, we have to talk about the skeleton in the can.
The bones.
The bones. People get weird about eating the bones. I'll admit, the little crunch factor is, it feels wrong, but the science says the crunch is a gold mine.
It's the ultimate bone builder. The canning process makes them super soft, totally edible, and that means you're getting a huge dose of calcium, 382 milligrams.
Which is, 3 times more than what's in milk?
Over 3 times the concentration, yeah. But again, it's the synergy. You don't just get the calcium, you get the phosphorus, and you get the vitamin D we were just talking about.
And you need the vitamin D to even absorb the calcium in the first place.
Exactly. A calcium pill by itself is fighting an uphill battle. Nature already packaged the whole kit together for you.
Okay, but whenever we talk about fish, there's always the fear of toxins. Mercury, arsenic. I saw arsenic in the report and my heart just stopped.
And it's a totally valid concern. But this is where the sardines' short life works in our favor. It's about trophic levels.
Break that down for us.
Basically, mercury builds up as you go up the food chain. A big fish eats a medium fish that ate a small fish. The mercury gets more concentrated at each step. But sardines are right at the bottom. They eat plankton, and they die young.
So there's no time for the mercury to build up.
Right. The data shows sardines have about 0.013 parts per million of mercury. Compare that to swordfish, a top predator. It's almost 1 whole part per million.
Wow. Okay, so mercury's not an issue, but what about the arsenic?
I know that word is scary, but the key thing here is the form of the arsenic, the bad stuff. The kind in contaminated groundwater is inorganic arsenic. That's toxic. The arsenic in sardines is almost all arsenobutane. It's organic arsenic.
And our bodies handle that differently.
Completely differently. It's considered non-toxic. We just excrete it really quickly without it causing any harm. So the toxicological reality is it's safe.
That is a huge relief. So they're safe, they're great for us, but we have to cook them right.
I was surprised that frying is actually a bad idea.
It is. It's delicious. A fried sardine with lemon is amazing, but the high heat destroys that precious vitamin D. It oxidizes the good fats. You're basically deactivating its superpowers.
So what should we be doing instead?
The oven or the grill is much better. And even before that, the liquid they're packed in matters.
The classic oil versus water debate. And the winner is extra virgin olive oil. The polyphenols in the oil actually protect the omega-3s. But here's a fun one. Tomato sauce.
Oh yeah, I saw this note.
The fats in the fish help your body absorb the lycopene from the tomatoes by like 400%.
It's always synergy.
Always.
Okay, so we're eating our oven-baked sardines and tomato sauce. We're feeling great. Brains firing on all cylinders. But now we have to pivot.
Yes. Now we have to talk about the true cost and not the cost at the grocery store.
Because sardines aren't just our food. They're forage fish.
And now we shift to ecology. Forage fish are the battery pack of the ocean. They're the energy-dense superfood for whales, for dolphins, for salmon.
And the battery is running low.
Dangerously low in some places. The stats for the Pacific sardine they're just shocking. Since its peak in 2006, the population has dropped by over 98%.
98%. That's not a decline, that's a collapse.
It is. The population fell below the threshold that triggers a total fishing ban. But the damage to the ecosystem was already happening.
I remember reading about the sea lions in California.
That was between 2013 and 2016. A total crisis. Over 9,000 starving sea lion pups washed up on the beaches.
9,000, that's just awful.
Their mothers couldn't find enough fatty fish to produce milk. Without those high-fat sardines, they just couldn't feed their pups. We saw the same thing with brown pelicans. Total breeding failures.
So when we take too many sardines, we're literally pulling the foundation out from under the entire food pyramid.
That's exactly what's happening. And it's all made worse by climate change. The famous sardine run in South Africa, that massive migration.
Yeah, I've seen the documentaries. It's incredible.
Well, it depends on very specific ocean temperatures. And as the oceans warm up, those patterns are getting disrupted. The predators are showing up, but their food isn't there.
So, what do? We have this perfect food that could help with so many of our health problems, but eating it feels like we're part of an ecological disaster. It's a paradox.
The superfood paradox. But it doesn't have to be a choice between your health and the ocean's health. It comes down to being a smart consumer.
So we don't have to give up sardines.
No, I don't think so. For our own health, they might be too important to ignore. But we absolutely have to prioritize sustainability. We can't just grab the cheapest can off the shelf.
So what are we looking for?
You check the source. There are well-managed fisheries. The research pointed to places like Japan or Morocco. And you look for the little blue MSC certification label.
The Marine Stewardship Council.
Right. It's not a perfect system, but it's a signal that someone is watching to make sure we don't see another 98% collapse. We have to stop thinking of the ocean as just an infinite resource.
It really does come back to that word matrix.
It does.
Nature packs calcium and vitamin D together in a bone because they need each other to work. And the ocean packs species together because they need each other to survive.
And if you pull out too much of that foundation, the whole thing just crumbles, whether it's your skeleton or the entire marine ecosystem.
So the bottom line is, eat the sardines. Your brain and your heart will thank you for it. But check the label first. Make sure you're not eating a sea lion's lunch.
That's the takeaway.
Before we wrap up, I just want to leave our listeners with one final thought. We spend so much time and money looking for the next biohack, the next lab-made supplement to fix us. But maybe the most advanced piece of nutritional technology isn't in a lab at all. Maybe it's been swimming in the ocean for millions of years, perfecting a balance we're only just now starting to understand. The real question is, are we smart enough to use it without destroying the very system that created it?
That is the question.
Thanks for diving in with us.
My pleasure.
Stay curious, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.